dear friends of Iceland and Estonia, dear entrepreneurs. It is an honor to welcome you all to the virtual business visit of Estonia and Iceland. Today's event is being streamed via YouTube, and the recording of the event will remain accessible also after the event. Let me briefly introduce you the order of today. First, we will receive the statements from the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Estonia, Mr. Urmas Reinsalu, and Minister for Foreign Affairs and International Development Cooperation of Iceland, Mr. Guðlaugur Thor Thordarson. Then we will proceed to hearing our keynote speakers, Mr. Kristo Vaher and Mr. Andri Heidar Kristinsson, who will give an overview of the recent developments in e-governance, both in Estonia and in Iceland. Then we will hear the short pitches of 11 companies from Estonia and Iceland. And with the pitches, the public part of our intervention today is going to be over, but it will continue in the private platform, or the private bilateral meetings will continue in the B2Match platform, which you can find to the right of the agenda on your screen in the end of agenda. And through that platform, everybody who wishes to have meetings with the companies can request the meetings through that platform. And now, please let me proceed to our speeches. I would like to invite here the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Estonia, Mr. Urmas Reinsalu. Please, Mr. Reinsalu, the floor is yours.
Hello, good Laugur. Hello, good business people of Iceland. Hello, business people from Estonia. All good viewers of our precedental business forum via internet. It is truly a pleasure to welcome you all. The current pandemic has hindered the availability of essential services to people across the world, and thereby also highlighted the importance of meaningful connections, both physical and digital. Also in NB8 North Baltic 8 countries context, the connectivity has been one of the priorities during this year's cooperation led by Estonia. Taking into account our excellent bilateral relations between Estonia and Iceland, the best relations two countries ever could have, like-mindedness and growing digital cooperation between Estonia and Iceland, I'm very happy that we can today bilaterally focus on e-governance and COVID-19 related digital solutions. The current crisis has underlined the importance of digitalization as a tool to strengthen the resilience of affected countries and societies. With a well-developed e-governance infrastructure, Estonia has perhaps had an advantage in the crisis. 99% of all the public services are online in Estonia, and therefore the state has been fully functional even during the crisis. As you perhaps know, in Estonia the relevant expertise lies largely in the private sector, and it has been the IT companies who have built the solutions we use in the government. Estonian tech companies have a unique know-how, and they would be glad to partner with governmental institutions and businesses in Iceland. Friends, I firmly believe that good e-governance system is beneficial for everyone, but it is especially helpful in countries with low population density, just as Estonia and Iceland. That is why I am especially glad that Iceland has joined the Nordic Interoperability Institute, NIIS, as a partner and is implementing X-Road Straumorin along with Finland and the Faroe Islands. X-Road Straumorin, what a great achievement. We are convinced that the regional e-governance infrastructures in whole Nordics would make us stronger together and it would give us more competitiveness in a global scale. I hope to have Iceland's support in bringing our other Nordic neighbours on board to cooperate in NIIS, both in Nordic-Baltic formats and also directly with Nordic neighbours. Somewhat similar to the X-Road is also Estonia's newest cooperation project with WHO, where we are going to build a reliable coronavirus vaccination information infrastructure and a global health data exchange layer. And I'm truly glad that Iceland has agreed to become one of the pathfinder countries in piloting this project, which contributes to overcoming the severe impacts of coronavirus pandemic. Furthermore, in addition to our bilateral and regional initiatives, we have taken joint steps to promote digitalization also globally, over the planet. Namely, on July 1st, Estonia, in cooperation with Singapore, launched the Global Declaration of their digital response to coronavirus. And I would like to thank my Icelandic colleague for having supported this declaration. To bring the political will from the declaration into action, the follow-up event for it is going to be the Global Business Summit on December 16th. With this summit, which Estonia co-hosts with United Arab Emirates, we aim to bring together the public and private sectors of countries around the world and present the best digital solutions for combating coronavirus crisis. And I strongly believe that the private sector is willing and able to help address the consequences of this crisis, and I invite cordially Iceland also to take part in this summit. Friends, I hope today's event will provide opportunities for Icelandic and Estonian entrepreneurs, and I hope that in our next meeting our companies can already meet face to face. I would like to thank you once again for participating in our very special virtual business visit, and I will be looking forward to warmly welcoming you all in Estonia as soon as coronavirus situation allows, and also hope that soon enough our entrepreneurs and myself can come to visit you in Reykjavik and give you a real, not a virtual handshake. Thank you for your attention. Stay healthy, remain healthy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Reinsalu. And now I would like to invite Mr. Guðlaugur Thor Thordarson, the Minister for Foreign Affairs and the International Development Cooperation of Iceland. Please, Mr. Thordarson, the floor is yours.
Thank you, and dear colleague, Mr. Reinsalu, dear friend Urmas, thank you for your lovely speech. I totally agree with you that our political relations couldn't be better, but representatives from Estonia and Iceland, both from the two governments and from Estonian and Icelandic companies, other distinguished guests participating online. Good morning, everyone. And let me first express my sincere thanks to our friends in the Ministry for Foreign Affairs in Tallinn for the initiative and for co-hosting today's online event. The virtual visit is a good example of the creativity that has emerged in so many areas, both in private and public sectors, due to the COVID-19. It shows that despite the strains that the pandemic has put on our societies and economies, we are able to cooperate and create much needed solutions. I'm certain that this will eventually both help us to get through the pandemic and, no less importantly, make us stronger in a post-COVID world. It can even be argued that the current crisis is accelerating different developments that were long overdue. The fact of the matter is that we quickly adjusted to a different reality. Time-consuming travels have been replaced with Teams meeting. It's not the same, don't get me wrong, and I think most of us agree that in-person meetings remain crucial. But we have learned that we can use technology to facilitate virtual contact. This allows us to maintain long-standing relations and build up new ones. Today, we are in fact doing both. Today's event is also an excellent continuation of the strong Icelandic-Estonian relations, especially as regards cooperation in e-governance. Estonia's success in e-governance has been an inspiration to Iceland. In fact, so much that Iceland signed an agreement with the Nordic Institute for Interoperability Solutions during the visit of the Icelandic Prime Minister and Minister of Finance to Tallinn last year on cooperation with Estonia and Finland to start using the so-called X-Road. This resulted in what we call in Icelandic Straumurinn, a platform helping us to promote and stream e-governance services. I am confident that this cooperation will grow stronger in the years to come. GovTech or e-government solutions certainly create enormous opportunities for governments, both at the state and municipal level, to provide the best services to every citizen, regardless of location. It also holds to the key for better understanding how the services provided are distributed and how available resources are used. The digital revolutions we are experiencing can thus give us the oversight needed to optimize services and ensure the best use of government funds. Dear friends, last February, I was fortunate to visit the beautiful city of Tallinn. Iceland's chairmanship of the MB8 Corporation had just come to an end, and Estonia's chairmanship had recently started. So this visit was in some ways a handover of the MB8 chair, but also an opportunity to strengthen our bilateral political ties, as well as to develop, deepen, and widen the scope of our collaboration. The relations between Iceland and Estonia stand on firm grounds. In fact, dating back more than 1,000 years to the times when Nordic Vikings were doing business in the Baltic state. However, in recent history, our alliance was in many ways formed and forged in the uncertain times right after the end of the Cold War. We are honored to have played a supporting role in your brave struggle for independence. And next year, we look forward to commemorating the 30th anniversary of these dramatic events that led to Estonia and all other Baltic states regaining their independence. In these 30 years, both of our countries have come a long way. Both Iceland and Estonia are committed members of NATO, the UN and OECD, and as such we are strong defenders of fundamental values and principles of human rights, democracy, and the rule of law. We are allies in Europe, you as a member of the EU and Iceland a party to the agreement on the European Economic Area. And we cooperate closely in our Nordic-Baltic region, as well as bilaterally. I was also honored a few days ago as a chair of the Arctic Council to receive Estonia application for an observer status in that important international forum. I mention this here because close political relations based on common values and shared interest can and do create new opportunities in trade and economic cooperation. We have a solid framework for trade in the EEA agreement, and the political will for doing more together is certainly there. Most importantly, we have you, representatives of dynamic and ambitious companies in both countries, not least in the field of innovation and IT services. It is my hope this event will create common ground for further collaboration, and I look forward to learning more about today's tangible results. Let's enjoy our virtual visit to Iceland and Estonia and meet again in person next year. Thank you again, everyone, and good luck today.
Thank you, Mr. Thordarson, for the substantive statement. And now I would like to invite here Mr. Kristo Vaher, the Chief Technology Officer from the Estonian Ministry of Economic Affairs and Communication. Please, Mr. Vaher, the floor is yours.
Dear friends and colleagues, thank you for inviting me here for this opportunity. I'm really glad to be able to tell you a little bit about where we are heading towards. So, my main focus topic really is about architecting for the next generation. And one of the key focus things there for an engineer like me is that the next generation often happens in waves, like very early on, and we really have to see what are the immediate next steps in order to keep in mind what the next steps are for the big picture. So I'm the CTO for the government, and it's my duty to always inform everybody that the most important role of technology is to automate the routines in our everyday lives so that we can save time for what is really important. Technology allows us to be here today. We have saved time. In many ways, we haven't had to have those flights. Even though it's a shame that we cannot shake hands today, it is something that technology has allowed us to create this kind of forum here that we have here today. And this is the number one key thing. As a CTO, I've been an engineer for the better part of my life, but it's always about where you can actually save time, where you can make things better. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we are focusing on. So for one thing, we are at the moment in the process of building a strategy and vision for the year 2030. This is a long time for me as an engineer. This is something that is, like if we think about 10 years ago, where were we at that point and where we will be in 10 years' time. But building this kind of focus has been a very enriching experience since we have involved the experts from across the sectors, from both public and private, as well as international consultation and partners. And this has been something that will take us still a while to figure out and set in stone, but we are strongly believing in few other things that I would like to tell you about that are part of this key strategy and vision. For one thing, we're talking about great AI. This is something that we're building that will break the barriers of what we expect today in user experience. Great AI is about creating a virtual assistant ecosystem where the service delivery, public sector service delivery, is automated through the use of virtual assistants so that you can actually tell your phone that you have lost your ID card, or you can chat, or you can send text messages or send an email, and it's actually an automated great AI that is going to respond to you. One of the key foundational parts of this is that we need to create service delivery across multiple sectors. Estonia has traditionally built its e-governance in a decentralized manner so that we have the domain expertise responsible for their own information systems, with X-Road connecting all of those different domains. We aim to continue this path, but we have to keep in mind that the service delivery for the citizen should not be fragmented. It should be, if you have a problem as a citizen, you want this problem to be solved through a single flow. Secondly, it's really important to keep in mind that X-Road is going to stay. We have had a lot of discussions about what the next steps of X-Road should be. Whether it is the great technology that it once was that is still beneficial for today. And with our engineering community, we have discussed a lot of different angles, what are needed for X-Road to evolve and be there for the next generation. And we have taken all of those things into account into roadmap as well with NIS. And it's really great that Iceland has also joined this initiative. Then data privacy and control tools and services have become an important thing, not just in Europe, but across the world, and for Estonia as well. And we are working on situations that allow more citizen control over their data. One of the solutions that we're working on is a consent service, which would allow a citizen to give a consent to private sector to access their data for whatever service that they might be interested in. Traditionally, as it is today, it's a very complicated process, but we want to make it more easy, but at the same time more secure as well as more transparent, so that you always have control over what kind of data you share with what company or institution. And Today, one of the key points of focus for us is also cloud transformation and reuse of different services and building blocks that we have actually built here in Estonia. This is very important because Estonia has, for the past 20 plus years, built a lot of information systems. We have so many systems up and running, some of them decentralized in a way that have become legacy, that need upholding and maintaining for the next generation. And cloud is the only option that we see there. We have talked with various experts from other governments that have also had trouble transforming to cloud. And it's extremely hard for us as well, despite being a small country. So getting to cloud is something that will take focus for many years for Estonia in order to make sure that our services are scalable, both from cybersecurity standpoint as well as from the user experience standpoint. All of those things matter us a great deal. Now, regarding cooperation, when I was looking at the list, the sections that I had laid out, the core key building blocks, I saw actually cooperation opportunities to majority of those elements. For strategy and vision, this is about sharing ideas or discussing is the vision of a different country similar or it's different, or what the different country might expect citizen experience to be. I think we have a lot to learn from Iceland here as well, and I think that the conversation that we'll have today will also give some insight regarding this. And cloud transformation and reuse is something that we also have to handle a lot on our own, but there are still lessons to learn from other countries, because in Estonia, we are tied up with various regulations that make it very hard to share infrastructure with other countries. But in Europe, there are initiatives such as Gaia-X that are looking to how we can actually do this across Europe. But there might be other opportunities as well. But the key part is that the other green elements that I've listed on this slide, such as Krait AI, X-Road, and data privacy and control solutions, are something that we can tightly cooperate together with, between Iceland, between Estonia, and between the private sectors of both. I think there are many opportunities there. X-Road is going to stay. It's going to add various features that enable more scalable information systems, more potentially even cross-border data exchange systems that will take citizen experience cross-border as well. I think we need to get around the fact that we tend to consider citizen experience as an experience within a single physical country. With the era of internet and all the tools that we have available today, our other experiences, including media, including socializing, have already been cross-border. I think that government services should take that step as well, and finding solutions for this, X-Road is one of the best ways to have this kind of interaction and data sharing. Same applies to data privacy and control. Every country, I'm sure in Iceland as well, is dealing with how citizens can have better control over their data. We have a lot to share. We are running multiple proof of concepts here. And regarding Krait AI as well, we have published on kraitit.ee a roadmap for how we can actually get this virtual assistant system done and deployed. We are in the process of running earlier proof of concepts already that are delivering these kind of services. So one of the questions that have always been asked of me is that Estonia is doing really well in terms of digitalization, but what if digital services fail? That this is like a core aspect, that while you are focusing so much on digital services, is this effort that is spent on focusing on this digital service good enough? But in my mind, especially in the light of this year, we have seen the opposite. That what if actually physical services fail? Which means that they both are incredibly important. You have to make sure that you have your physical services there when digital services fail, and vice versa. We can do this kind of virtual discussion here today for the very same reason that we have those digital services available. While certain things are always better in physical face-to-face format, some of the solutions might be even better digitally. But keeping focus on both is, I think, a responsibility of not just public service like representatives, but also for the private companies. We have to make sure that we have both angles covered. And if we are focusing on X-Road, if we're focusing on cooperation, what we can actually achieve with Krait AI and virtual assistants, if we can make the citizen experience easier for our citizens, then we are going to do what I initially said. We're going to save time with technology. to spend more time with our friends, with our family, at our work, doing the creative stuff, doing the stuff that inspires us. And this affects happiness of everybody, I suppose. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kristo Vaher, for this presentation about the next generation e-governance architecture. And now I would like to invite here Mr. Andri Heidar Kristinsson to tell us more about the future of e-governance in Iceland. Please, Mr. Kristinsson, the floor is yours.
Thank you, and it's great to be here with you today. So I'm particularly excited to be here today because I took on this role in the government in February this year, leading the digital transformation of the Icelandic government. One of the first things I did on the job was actually planning a visit to Estonia to learn about all the digital e-governance tools and strategy that you guys have been running for years. But as you all know, something happened in March and all my travel plans got canceled. So I'm particularly pleased to be here with you today during this virtual meetings. I've obviously had a lot of calls with my colleagues in Estonia, but still haven't met anyone in person. So looking forward to that as well. I'm going to tell you today a little bit about how we are looking at these things in Iceland, how I see the future in digital e-government, and what we are learning along the way. And I always start with sharing our vision. What are we trying to do? And in its core, what we're doing is simplifying people's life by digital transformation of public service. And when I say people's life, I mean the people running companies, but also people within the government institutions. And we do this because it saves us all time. It saves us a lot of time. We all know, at least here in Iceland, stories from people waiting in lines, driving hard copies and documents between institutions, and we are eliminating that, saving time. We can also save a lot of money on making all these services more lean, more simple, and more fast. And last but not least, we do save the environment. It does a lot for the environment. We're not printing as much, we're not driving between places with paper, and so forth and so forth. So this is, in essence, is what we're doing. And with that, I want to tell you first about a few of our guiding principles that are guiding our vision and this digital transformation journey that we've embarked on. And then I'm going to tell you very briefly about a few of the projects that we've undertaken this year as part of the COVID relief program. And it's all about simplicity. So first and foremost, we are building on a user-centric design. So creating life events such as having a baby, starting a company, retirement, we're always thinking about this from the user perspective. Historically, it often tends to be the nature of institutions that think about it from themselves. So we're trying to change this and think about it more as a startup company, as a big tech company, all about user-centric design. We have also taken a brave step in making all of our development open source. We are trying to reduce the lock-in which government institutions have historically had. And so as of this year, we open sourced all of our code, all of our new development, a brand new website for the central services of the government. And it's all free and open online on GitHub so that individuals and companies can use this code and build more innovation and technology on top of it. And this way, we think our investment is used a lot better than if we're doing it in closed systems. We are also working on liberating data. We all know that there's a lot of data locked up in different servers, systems, institutions, and we're not using that data to built on transparency, built on innovation, and get access to all of our data within the government. So this is one of our key principles. Related to that is open APIs. We are using web services and we're building a open stack of web services. Some of this, it's open data, but other data that's on X-Road. So we're trying to make it a lot easier to connect all these data sources together using X-Road, which is our next principle or theme. We're very happy to participate in X-Road, and one of the things that we've decided to do is that we don't have to invent the wheel. Where we find great examples of solutions, systems, strategy that has worked. We looked at Estonia, we looked at other countries like Singapore, Finland, many other countries, and where there's already great things happening, we are trying to adopt that and therefore leapfrogging the technology ahead. So we've fairly recently started connecting all the dots with X-Road in Iceland, but we're looking very much forward to getting that up and running properly. And last but not least, we are very big on public-private partnership. We did a revolutionary project this year where we hired through procurement 18 different cross-disciplinary teams from everything from very small startups to some of the biggest technology companies in Iceland. And these are some of the companies that we're working with. It's been working really, really well for us, and we're super excited to continue on this path. Now I want to switch gears and tell you a little bit about some of the digital COVID response measures. As we've all, as Guðlaugur and other people mentioned here, we were well prepared. We've been learning to use new technologies, and maybe for some of us that have been working in technology for decades, it's not a lot of new things. But for the vast majority of people, it's actually a breakthrough. And we in Iceland were very well positioned to accelerate our digital transformation and make use of all this technology because of all the preparation that's already been underway. And so I'm just going to share with you, I can't go into a lot of details here, but I'm just going to share with you a few of the things that we've been working on this year and launched this year to give you a brief insight into what we've done. And so first of all, we launched earlier this year a digital private license. So now it literally broke all of our servers for a brief moment. It was so popular when we launched it this summer, but now a large portion of the nation has their driving license in their digital wallet. There was an amazing team working government that did a track. Literally within 1 or 2 weeks, they were able to build a tracking app to help the chief epidemiologists to track the spread of the COVID virus. And this has been highly effective in our measures against the pandemic. We also, to encourage tourism, tourism is a big part of our country, and the government decided to give every single person in Iceland a digital gift card to encourage them to travel locally during the summer. And this is also a big success. It was a simple app where you could get your code. You were able to give if you wanted to give your family members your code, you could share it. But it was very simple to use and highly effective in encouraging tourism this summer. We are also welcoming remote workers. So this is one of the new initiatives that we've introduced recently, and we're just right these days working on a digital application for remote workers to come to Iceland and spend some extended time here working remotely on their current jobs back home. So we're super excited about this, and we'll tell you more about this live. And then a few weeks ago as well, we realized the government had put out a lot of different measures and people started getting a little bit confused about where all these different measures are, where can I apply for them, and so forth, because they were spread across different institutions. So we have just recently introduced this new web where you can find all COVID relief measures in one place, which is helping a lot with all the information overload that we're experiencing in the pandemic. So this has been super helpful. So this is all, folks. Just a brief insight into some of the projects that we're working on, some of the high-level strategy and our guiding principle. We are looking very much forward. We're quite far along the way, but we still realize we have ways to go until we become one of the top leaders in e-governance in the world, like Estonia has set itself to be in a position to be in. So with that, thank you very much. I'm looking very forward to the rest of the day. Good luck, everyone.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kristinsson, for this forward-looking presentation on the future of e-governance in Iceland. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to give floor to our entrepreneurs, who are actually also the main reason our business visit is taking place today. And the first I would like to give floor to is Maxim Ovchinnikov from Cybernetica. Please, Mr. Ovchinnikov, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Agata, for the introduction. I'm glad to be here. And yeah, let's start. Yeah, Cybernetica is a research and development IT company, which is particularly focused on e-governance and electronic identity products, mission-critical software such as radio communication, maritime surveillance solutions, and IT consultancy in the areas of cybersecurity, cryptography, and information security. As you can see here, Cybernetica has participated in the development of most critical parts of Estonian e-governance product stack, starting from custom-made systems used by Estonian police and border guard unit, and ending with X-road technology that has already been described by Mr. Vaher, and which will probably be covered in more detail by the next presenter. So yeah, on the next two slides, you can see a more detailed list of our products and system offerings. And I will particularly focus on the Unified Exchange Platform product, which is, in our case, a technological successor of the X-Road technology. So yeah, as X-Road version 6 went live in year 2016, Estonian government has decided to make the source code of the X-Road open source and publish it under MIT license. And on the other hand, Cybernetica has decided to implement the next version or the next generation of the governmental interoperability solution, and that's how UXP was created. So UXP is technologically compatible with X-Road, but it has some additional components and functions that the current version does not yet have. Here on the next slide, you can see a list of countries and companies that are currently using UXP. I want to focus a little on Greenland because, well, Greenland and Iceland are close not only geographically, but also economically and culturally. So yeah, we have started the implementation of UXP on a statewide level in Greenland a bit more than 2 years ago. We started with a small pilot, during which 3 Greenlandic governmental institutions have been interconnected between each other. And now, a bit more than 2 years later, there are more than 60 electronic services available for the citizens and the government officials of Greenland. And we are quite excited about this fact. And yeah, we are. So yeah, to summarize, Cybernetica has significant experience in the fields of e-governance technologies, and we would be glad to discuss the opportunities to cooperate with Iceland, with the government of Iceland and the private companies in Iceland. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ovchinnikov. Next, we will hear from Tuuli Pärenson from Go4. Please, Ms. Pärenson, the floor is yours.
Go4 Estonia, that is part of Go4 Group. Go4 Estonia is a competence center for international activities around digital transformation and e-governance solutions. Go4 Group, on the other hand, is an international digital transformation consultancy with over 700 in-house specialists. We provide a full palette of ICT services from strategic advisory to design, development, deployment, and quality assurance of bespoke solutions. That being said, we can support you as a single partner from mediation to implementation. We are technology independent, and that is why we can propose the solutions that are the best match for your needs. We have deep understanding of hot topics in IT, for example, X-Road, but also data and AI or cloud. So why work with Go4? We as a consulting company cherish your uniqueness. We build on your strengths and we provide top-notch experts selected for your specific needs. We have brought out 3 focus areas for the following discussions today. So first, digital maturity and good growth. We have models for fast diagnostics of digital maturity and planning the next steps forward. We have a toolbox that brings the sustainability goals to a working team level. Secondly, cloud. Go4 is an official certified partner for Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, and Google Public Cloud Services. Thirdly, X-Road. We are the leading X-Road technology partner. Almost all open source X-Road developments come from our developers, and we support other countries on their X-Road journeys, from implementation to service design, and also in supporting the ecosystem. And we would be happy to support you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Pärenson. And now I would like to invite here Andres Mellik from Cognos. Please, Mr. Mellik, the floor is yours. Looks like we have some technical difficulties. Okay, Andres, we cannot hear you. Your audio is not working. Sorry for this little interruption. I'm sure we can proceed soon.
So hello, can you hear me now?
Andres, we can see and hear you now well.
Oh, okay, thank you very much. Sorry about that, I had to re-log in to the environment. So I'll restart from scratch. Cognius is a digital health company. We've been around for about 8 years, and we focus on improving patient safety, improving care quality, as well as reducing the unwanted care variation within healthcare, which is the biggest or largest cost driver for hospitals worldwide. So that's really what we're all about, and we essentially bring digital interfaces to clinicians, medical professionals, nurses, but also patients and family members. And our goal is to drive 100% adherence to clinical and nursing protocols, and so that it would be usable and accessible across the care continuum. What we figured out working with these hospitals really globally for the past 8 years is that the problem of non-adherence to guidelines is almost uniform across, and the really simple reasons are that the right instructional content and protocols are not accessible or actionable when and where the nursing staff, for example, needs it. So we set out to build very effective mobile interfaces as well as a back-end content management system to address that. And we've been very successful. So at the moment we are actually in doing that. So at the moment we're implementing in 8 different countries, in South America, in Europe, Germany specifically, as well as Estonia, Ukraine, Georgia, as well as with the help of the Estonian Minister of Foreign Affairs, we are also addressing Ghana and Kenya in Africa. And really we're seeing the problem very similarly in all of those institutions. So the platform itself is essentially meant for, as I mentioned, driving adherence, as well as a better onboarding of new nurses. The turnover of nursing staff is a huge problem across the globe as well, and training quickly new staff members, as well as empowering lower level staff members and family members to do more in the care continuum of a particular patient. And we're very grateful for this opportunity. We already saw that many of the companies from the Icelandic side could be easily partners for us in our different endeavors, as well as we're really grateful for the fact that 5 different meetings with all the right academic, national, as well as hospital representatives were set up for us, and we're looking forward to the networking session starting in less than an hour. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mellik. And now I would like to give floor to Mr. Allan Valm from Mobilab. Please, Mr. Valm, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. Hi, I'm Allan from Mobilab. Thank you for this great opportunity. So what we do at Mobilab, so we help companies to design and build digital products. So we do it for various industries, and then also we have customers all over the world. In addition to this mobile app development, we also have been focusing strong on augmented reality and value it brings to us in different sectors, for example, like edtech and also in sales. So when it comes to education, what this augmented reality allows us to do, especially in COVID times, so it helps us to engage the students not only in the classroom, but you can also engage them when they're learning remotely. so enhanced distance learning. And also it allows teachers to make it easier to conduct the lessons in the classrooms. You can actually visualize those things that are really difficult to see in otherwise. You can bring things to life that otherwise is difficult to do. So also when it comes to not only the schools, but for us EdTech is also concerning museums. So what we can do in the museums with the augmented reality is that we can attract more visitors with it. We can actually make this additional content, digital content available for everyone when visiting museums directly in their premises, or also seeing the museum's content from the homes or from the streets. In addition to this EdTech, what we can do is help business to continue working on this COVID-19 times. For example, you can bring your large dimensional products easily with you to expose to the client meetings all over the world. So what it helps your clients to is to get better understanding of the product's actual dimensions, its colors, and fit in desired location. So, for example, you can bring your fire truck to the expo. You can bring your in the classroom. You could bring a pyramid of Giza there, or to students' homes. And you can actually try it out yourself quickly by scanning the QR code with your phone camera, and then you can actually place something in the room next to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Valm. And before we proceed, I would kindly like to remind you to try to stick to maximum 2 minutes in your presentations, so that we could timely move on to the second part of the visit in the bilateral P2Match platform. And now I would like to invite Priit Kruus from Termtest. Please, Mr. Kruus, the floor is yours.
Hello, thank you for the opportunity. I hope my slides will also appear. Perfect. So, hello, I am Priit Kruus, CEO of Dermtest. So Dermtest is a complete medical photo management toolkit. We started with melanoma and skin and wound care, but now provide a complete solution for managing medical photos in different spheres of the healthcare sector. The reason why this app is needed, this solution is needed, is that medical photo management is actually broken. So 70% of doctors store medical photos among personal galleries, message them, email them. And this causes legal problems, it causes inefficiency, and there are problems with the adherence of treatment, tracking the patient's progress. So we solved that in a very complete way, involving all the different stakeholders, and connect the general practitioners, specialists, patients, everyone into the loop in terms of medical photos. 55 clinics and hospitals use it, have implemented it in 4 countries. We have covered all of Estonia. 4,000 cases are added per month, and more than 50 million of euros value generated to society with better management. So we have 4 main ways how this can be used. Doctors and nurses can easily make photos and store photos, especially relevant to skin and wound care. Also, patients can send high quality photos to get treatment and remote care from their doctors. Phone calls can support the treatment, but high quality medical photos are really needed, and video and just phone calls isn't enough for this, and we bring all the photos into the same loop. And finally, doctor-to-doctor consultation is what we support also. So since 2013, we have enabled early skin cancer detection through GP and dermatologist cooperation using our photo management platform. So, and this, the solution is available for small clinics or the whole country. We cover different use cases, and I'm happy to, looking forward to speak to interested parties in this field. Our clients are in Estonia and international, large hospitals and GP societies, and the whole system is built on the Estonian, with the principles of the Estonian Digital Society, using the top security experience and frameworks here. And thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cruz. And now I would like to give floor to our Icelandic friends. Next, we will hear from Margaret Vilborg Bjarnadottir from Pay Analytics. Please, Ms. Bjarnadottir, the floor is yours.
Thank you, and thank you for this opportunity. So Pay Analytics is a pay equity solution that not only measures your pay gap, but gives you a concrete action plan on how to close it, and supports ongoing quality decision-making in order to ensure pay equity. So Pay Analytics was actually born out of the lack of quantitative tools for HR managers tasked with closing the gender pay gap. In fact, I was originally approached by a COO that was responsible for the HR functionality in his financial institution. And over a 12-month period, the whole management team had been very mindful about an 8% pay gap in all of their decision making. But then when they measured the pay gap again 12 months later, it was still 8%. So then it became very clear to them, as well as myself, is that you don't fight the gender pay gap with good intentions alone. So you need quantitative decision support. So that's exactly what we have done. We have built a software solution that not only measures the pay gap, but actually determines which employees need a raise, how large do those raises have to be in order to close the pay gap, and all while accounting for the operational constraints of the company and the compensation strategy of the organization. So the software is really user-friendly. It makes it really easy for HR managers or compensation strategists to understand the problem and to address the problem and correct it. So we now have users in 40 countries, and I very much look forward to connecting with stakeholders and organizations in Estonia to start eradicating demographic pay gaps one organization at a time. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bjarnadottir. Next, we will hear from Valur Arnarsson from CAREN. Please, Mr. Arnarsson, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. My name is Valur Arnarsson. I am the Director of Marketing and Product Development here at CAREN. The world population is getting older, and the strains on the elderly services is increasing, causing more financial burden on society. A problem that needs a solution. Sorry, I'm trying to get this clicker to work here. CAREN provides a comprehensive cloud-based system solution called CAREN that is designed to give caretakers, service recipients, family members, and administrators the tools to simplify and organize and streamline all aspects of home care. We connect people, home care customers, home care providers, service providers, family members, third-party contractors, and so forth. We create a network of care and support around the home care client. We embrace the home care client. The bottom line is, really, the CAREN system provides better oversight, efficiency, and real-time information flow and communication between all parties, The result is a vastly improved care, lower overheads, transparency, and most importantly, a better quality of life. Together, we can elevate home care to the next level because we're all in this together, because we all care. Thank you. I think this slide's kind of messed up there, but.
Thank you, Mr. Arnarsson. And now I will invite here Sigrun Thora Sveinsdottir from Proensi. Please, Mrs. Sveinsdottir, the floor is yours.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sigrun Thora, and I'm a psychologist and a co-founder of Proensi. It was founded in 2018 when I was working as a police psychologist in Iceland. We are a software company that provide a solution to help organizations and companies monitor and improve mental health. The coronavirus has impacted people in many areas of their lives. People are suffering because they lost their business, their jobs, they're stressed at work, and others are isolated at home or depressed. And that has a direct impact on the operations and performances in organizations and companies. And the first step to solve this problem is to get an overview to efficiently allocate resources to solve it. By proactively screening for early signs of mental health issues, it becomes possible to prevent negative impact from mental health issues, as well as to promote well-being. And that is exactly what our solution does, where employees and individuals get access to a real-time mental health monitor and tools to improve it. Managers get access to an overview of the mental health status for their employees and individuals. It is our goal to provide our solution to increase awareness and access to mental health, as well as to improve well-being, efficiency, and performance. Come and join us in improving mental health awareness for your people. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sveinsdottir. And now I would like to invite Torbjörg Helga Vigfusdottir from CAREN Connect. Please, Ms. Vigfusdottir, the floor is yours.
Good morning, Estonia. Thank you very much for this opportunity. And thank you, Mr. Vaher, for sharing your future vision for Estonia. Very exciting. I am Helga, the founder and CEO of CAREN Connect. My background is psychology, and I was an elected politician for 12 years. And this led me and my team to build CAREN Connect, a secure digital workstation for professionals that administer therapy, counseling, or mental health to our citizens. CAREN is a software as a service built for the needs of the professionals, the citizens, and the payers in mind. Our mission is to increase value in welfare. CAREN is a software as a service we focus on storing sensitive information, and security is our top priority. CAREN includes many modules and features, as you can see, needed for better access to help with teleconsultation or face-to-face, secure data storage, client history overview, GDPR compliance, and data insights. In COVID, we saw a 16-fold increase of signups from professionals. It is used to empower individual therapists and then small teams, but it's also built to connect to existing payment or data systems through APIs. In reality, CAREN is a transformation system built for the public institutions to implement and connect together multiple teams across government silos. The payer, the government, has access to real-time data that finally gives quantitative data for better decision-making, increased reach, and machine learning analysis when costs towards support grow rapidly every year. We work in 3 countries with addiction treatment centers, with student health teams in all levels of schools, with charities of mental health and domestic violence, with cities and municipalities administering support and from social services and student services. And on a governmental level, we work with a national initiative with child protection services. I would love to tell you more. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Ms. Vigfusdottir. Last but not least, I would like to give floor to Tristan Elizabeth Grippin from Flow. Please, Ms. Grippin, the floor is yours.
At the level, we work with a national initiative.
We can see you very well.
Good morning. I don't know if it's my turn yet, but maybe you can confirm that. So my name is Valur Thor, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Tactical. We provide ready-made components to create digital trust online for both government and private companies. So if we look at the evolution of trust historically, it has evolved from handshakes to sorry, can I get the next slide, please? Thank you. So we have evolved from being historically a social handshake-driven trust to institutionalized to what is now becoming more automatic and scalable trust. So let's take a look at a very how this evolves in a very common procedure. If we look at a very critical process today that is largely done with paper without much success, money laundering or AML is a huge problem in the world today and is increasing in a time of crisis and world pandemics. And we all know what happens when IT gets too complicated. It either takes years to implement or it doesn't get implemented at all. So what we have done is to make a simple solution that can be implemented in a few days, taking care of things like onboarding, due diligence screening, risk monitoring, etc. So, and this is just one example of the ready-made components and solutions that we are doing. So instead of a paper-driven process, we have a simple and user-friendly experience that can be implemented in just days. And your customers will love you for it. It will give them a much more user-friendly experience. It minimizes errors and it helps with data privacy. And last but not least, allows your staff to have more time to give actual service to your clients. So if you're interested in learning more about how to create trust online using technology that is mobile friendly and simple, please do not hesitate to contact me after this conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Valur Thor Gunnarsson, and sorry for the little mishap. And now I would like to invite here again Miss Tristan Elizabeth Grippin from Flow. Please, Miss Grippin, the floor is yours.
Good morning, everyone. We are Flow. I don't see my slides yet, though.
That's okay.
That's okay. We teleport people like you to Icelandic nature, to your own private meditation retreat. And we've done this with our customers in 50 corporations in the Nordics. The problems we're facing are anxiety, depression, and exhaustion. 66% of employees struggle with focusing at work because of stress, and stress costs American businesses up to $300 billion a year. And this year, the problems have moved location, and they're at home, and those problems have become much more obvious. Meditation is a scientifically proven cure to these types of stress, but it's extremely difficult to slow down and practice meditation, especially during times of overwhelming stress. Flow takes you to Iceland. Immersed in stunning 360-degree pure nature where your mind naturally becomes calm and you can meditate and succeed in meditation from your very first try. We are not just another meditation app. Flow is immersive. And our customers tell us the results are immediate and impactful. With Flow, you can meditate in 6 ways, not just mindfulness, but we're also teaching people how to move in meditation and how to let go, how to actively release stress from the mind and the body. And Flow allows people to meditate in 6 ways. To meditate on the go with their eyes open, whether it's in Flow VR or with our Flow mobile apps, or by participating in our Flow workplace wellness programs. We've helped 50 corporations across Iceland and the Nordics, from telecom to banking and energy to IT, to provide more mental wellness for their employees through our Flow subscription programs. We kindly ask you to download our mobile app and get started on your Flow journey. If you're interested in the proven benefits of meditation, including more clarity and joy for your organization, be sure to reach out to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Griffin. Honored ministers, keynote speakers, dear entrepreneurs and friends, this brings us to the end of the first part of our very special first business visit, which is held virtually between Estonia and Iceland. Thank you very much for being part of this collaboration. The virtual visit, however, is not over, and it will continue in bilateral meetings in B2Match platform, the link to which you can find on the screen on the right, the end of the agenda. The ones who have had pre-arranged meetings should have received your joining information via email. And everyone who haven't pre-arranged meetings can still request appointments with the companies. And you can do so by doing it in the B2Match platform. And ladies and gentlemen, now I would wait for all of your active participation in the bilateral meetings. And I would like to thank you again for joining us today. And I hope you all will stay safe and healthy. Thank you.